Night City sells dreams wholesale, but the receipt always lists your soul. David wants out, out of debt, out of the uniform, out of being told he doesn't belong. Top school, bottom bank account. He's the wrong file in a gleaming database. His mom believes anyway. She drives, she hustles. She holds a vision so tight it cuts her palms. Then metal meets metal. Sirens drown out hope. Reality shows its teeth. Grief, bills, cold floors, a tiny apartment swallowed by neon. But in the wreckage, a forbidden gift. Sandevistan, illegal speed, surgical ambition. One implant, one gamble, one way to shatter the ceiling or his spine. Ambition is a blade, sharp on both sides. David grips it anyway. First run, first breath of the other world. Meet the crew. Rough edges, bright hearts. Maine, Dorio, Rebecca, Pilar, Kiwi. They laugh like they've cheated death. Because for a while, they do. Night City has rules. Break them, but pay on time. You want to matter? You move fast. Faster than fear. Faster than your heartbeat. The Sandevistan hums. Time bends. David threads bullets like beads. He tastes power. It tastes like becoming who he thinks he is. Thing is, bodies are invoices. Every upgrade is due. Every second of speed is taxed. Maine knows. He's heavy metal carried by scar tissue, a living warning label. He shrugs and keeps loading chrome. That's ambition talking, and the city whispering, louder. Lucy arrives like silence in a storm, a net runner with eyes like open sky. She doesn't sell you a dream. She holds one in her chest. A moon, cool, white, unreachable. She says, don't trust anyone. He wants to trust her anyway. He wants to outrun the rules. They fit like two halves of a broken record, crackling, beautiful, destined to skip. Jobs roll in, cars flip, data screams, money flows, respect follows. David's different, they say. His body takes the heat. He rides the edge like a born flyer. And that sentence is the trap. When you think you're built different, you stop checking the gauges. You start believing limits are for other people. You treat red lights like decoration. This city loves that. It loves a heart that won't slow, because it knows exactly how to make it stop. Corpos play chess with human pieces. Fixers sip secrets like tea. Faraday smiles with no warmth. He sees talent and calculates leverage. David's file lights up on their screens. Potential, an experiment in plain sight, a weapon wrapped in a dream. But on the ground, it's family. It's cracked jokes and shared noodles. It's Rebecca cackling in the smoke. It's Dorio's hand steadying Maine's shake. It's Kiwi blinking cold but present. You tell yourself you're not like them. You're with them, and that makes you safe. Then Maine starts slipping. Static in his eyes, rage like a software bug. Fingers that forget the trigger is real. Chrome magnifies what you are. It also distorts it. Push too far, and you're looking at a stranger in the mirror. David watches a hero turn into a lesson. He watches the lesson burn. Here's where dreams fail, not at the first wall, at the second wind. When you think the rules don't apply. When you confuse momentum with invincibility. The city gives you proof to keep going. One more score, one more implant, one more night without sleep. You tell yourself you can stop any time. The truth, you stop when the city is done using you, or when someone you love blocks the exit. Lucy tests the perimeter. She finds wires wrapped around his name, Arasaka fingerprints on his file. Doctors whisper that his body is special. Special means exploitable. She pulls away to pull him out. He thinks she's leaving. He doubles down to keep her close. That's how ambition eats you. It takes your fear of losing love and sells you more gear. David straps in, add a mod, add a plate, add a promise to protect everyone. He climbs the ladder built over a pit, because the view from rung 5 is breathtaking. He doesn't see rung 6 missing. Maine's fall cracks the sky. Leadership lands on David's shoulders like armor. Heavy, impressive, suffocating. He says he can carry it. He means he has to. Reality says weight has numbers. Ambition says don't look down. Now the crew dances on thinner ice. Jobs get louder. Eyes watch closer. Bullets come from angles that don't make sense. The thrill is still there. The laughter sometimes too. But silence takes longer to leave the room. Lucy tries to show him the moon again. Look up, breathe, live past this season. He looks at the city instead, at the stairs he's climbed, at the mouths he feeds, at the ghosts who cheer when he runs faster. This is the split. This is where most dreams go to die. Not because they were small, but because they were never built to hold this much weight. The market for dreams in Night City is efficient. It identifies outliers. It isolates them. It scales them until they break. David's gift becomes a metric, a chart in a lab, a bet in a boardroom. He thinks he's writing his own legend. The city is writing an invoice. Personal limits aren't cages. They're guardrails on a mountain road. Kick them off, and you'll see the view. Then you'll see the fall. He keeps the throttle open. He says it's for her, for them, for the kid who couldn't afford the uniform. Why do most dreams fail here? Because this place punishes pause. Because saying no looks like surrender. Because the machine rewards you until it replaces you. David hears all that. He turns it into fuel, and the city smiles. Fuel burns hottest when you've got nothing left. David takes that fire. He aims it. Early mornings, late nights, chrome upgrades on layaway, rent past due. No one gives him room. He carves it. Maine runs the crew like a storm. Big voice, bigger laugh. He calls shots. He calls David kid, but not for long. Jobs stack up. Smash and grab. Package snatch. Net run and dash. David is the edge. That Sandevistan sings. Time slows. He moves like a rumor. In, out, clean. But clean is expensive. And nothing in Night City stays clean. Nosebleeds start. Hands twitch after cooldowns. Ripperdoc taps the chart. Says, listen, you're special, but not immortal. David smirks. I'm fine. He believes it. Lucy watches that smile. She doesn't buy it. On rooftops, under neon, she tells him about the moon. Her voice drops soft. That's not escape. That's breath. Somewhere without sirens, without corpse, without the city chewing you slow. He says he'll take her there, like it's a ticket he can just print. And that's the hook. He turns her dream into a plan. He confuses promise with power. Faraday slithers in with work, polished, smelling like money and rot. He never speaks straight. He sells big, like it's candy. Maine hears big. He grins. He's been chasing big for years. But big costs chrome, and chrome takes pieces. Maine starts dropping beats mid-sentence. Eyes glaze for a blink too long. Dorio clocks it, keeps the room steady. She holds his shoulder when it shakes. He swears he's good. We've heard that before. They grab a suit. Tanaka, Arasaka Brain Trust, the kind of fish that gets whole cities hungry. Snatch and stash. Tie him to a chair. Keep him breathing. Make him talk. Lucy jacks in, slides through firewalls like silk through teeth. Inside his head, she sees it. A file with David's name stamped in neon. Not random, not lucky, a blueprint. Arasaka interest. Special project. Sandevistan was bait. Her heart drops. Her face stays glass. She yanks the cord. Blood on her lips. She wipes it. David asks what she saw. She says garbage. She lies to save his life. She thinks truth would kill him faster. Outside, heat climbs. Arasaka pings. They're not sending rent-a-cops. They're sending erasers. The crew scrambles. Falco revs. Rebecca swears like art. Kiwi keeps plates spinning in the net. David keeps pushing his chip past the red line. Timer beeps. He ignores it. And Maine, he starts to slip. A tremor becomes a quake. Voices whisper from corners. Shadows move when lights don't. He laughs at things that aren't there. Then he roars at friends who are. Dorio tries to anchor him. Look at me. Right here. Breathe. He tries. He can't. Cyberpsychosis isn't dramatic. It's inevitable. It's ambition past the body's budget. It's the invoice no one wants to pay. Arasaka hits the safe house. Bullets find drywall. Glass snowfalls inside. Maine snaps the world into pieces. He sees enemies everywhere. Lucy yells. Kiwi curses. David tries to be glue. Chaos wins. Dorio catches a shot meant for him. She staggers. She falls. The room shrinks. Maine doesn't break. He detonates. Grief turns into gasoline. He charges out, a titan made of shrapnel and old dreams. He takes half the squad with him. He takes himself too. The dust settles mean. What's left is quiet. David stares at the spot where a mentor used to be, where a future used to sit heavy and loud. Reality doesn't care. Bills still come. Jobs still ping. Crews need captains. He steps up, because nothing else is left. He wears grief like armor. He straps on more chrome to fill the empty space. New arms, new spine, a frame to match the footprint Maine left behind. Ripperdoc frowns deeper. You're running hot, kid. David hears kid, and it burns. I can handle it. Ambition sounds noble when you're young. It sounds desperate when your hands won't stop shaking. Lucy pulls back. Not because she's cold, because the file in her head won't shut up. Because every time he says I've got this, she sees Arasaka's stamp. She hits the net alone at night. Hunting whispers about David. Erasing traces. Saving him in the dark. He never sees it. He just feels the distance. It hurts more than bullets. Rebecca sticks close. Loud mouth, loud heart. She keeps laughs in the room, no matter how grim it gets. That's its own kind of courage. Faraday circles like a drone. Tragic about Maine, he says. Eyes already measuring David for a larger suit. He offers a job that smells like legend. Security heavier than a vault. Pay big enough to buy silence, mercy, maybe even a sky. He doesn't mention strings. He never has to. In Night City, strings are implied. David listens. He thinks of rent, of graves, of promises he made under a cheap blanket to a girl who wants the moon. He tells himself it's not about pride. It's about keeping everyone fed, keeping them safe, building something no one can bulldoze. He tells himself he's built different. He believes it because he has to. The crew rallies. Fresh faces join old names. Roles shuffle. Kiwi keeps hacking. Falco keeps them rolling. Rebecca loads magazines and calls him captain with a shrug. Leadership isn't a crown. It's a weight. He wears it anyway. Every upgrade dials him further from the skin he started in. Every mirror is a stranger. Every night is shorter than the last. But the jobs get cleaner. Enemies fall faster. His legend grows on the street that eats legends for breakfast. He wants to think he's winning. He wants to think Maine would be proud. Lucy watches from across a room she won't cross. If she touches him, she'll tell him. If she tells him, she could lose him. She picks the hurt that keeps him breathing. Faraday calls again, bigger this time. Words like corporate skeleton, like game changer, like history. David doesn't flinch. He nods. He tells himself this is the last big push, the one that locks the door on danger, the one that buys a ticket to the moon. He doesn't ask what it costs. He already knows. Night City doesn't do bargains. It does exchanges. He offers himself up. Just a little more. Just enough. The line moves, and somewhere far above the neon a cold office lights up a file with his name. A file opens. A price tag attaches. A plan slides into motion. On the street, David levels up. Bigger rides, heavier chrome, faster jobs. He fills the hole Maine left with momentum. Doc clocks the tremor. Your nervous system's redlining. David shrugs it off. He says he was built for this, born different, raised by pressure. You know the speech. Lucy watches him fly, and she starts digging, deeper than deep, into the hushed parts of Arasaka's net. She finds a shadow of his name, not a bounty, a blueprint, a slot made to fit him, a project that only works if the subject burns. So she does the only thing she can. She yanks threads, scrubs traces, makes the file blurry, keeps him in the dark, not to lie, to buy time. Not if he sees a chance. Not if he can grab a star and hand it to her. He says he'll get her to the moon. He means it. He stacks eddies. He outruns sleep. He tapes himself back together and calls it grit. Reality keeps sending bills, and Chrome accepts only one currency. Then the sharks circle. A fixer with a smile shows teeth.